You see, what NBC is doing, or what stations agreed to do, is that they will pay in advance. So that's debt of billions. And if you want to put it in the proper perspective, it's not something that stations are owing. It is the money that they're supposed to pay in advance. For example, a station with national license or network license is requested to pay 100 million naira per year. That is television. Radio, 50 million naira per year. So if it is television, that is 500 million naira for 5 years. So they are supposed, according to the agreement of NBC, they are supposed to pay in advance. So it is not totally what they are owing, the backlog, or what, let's say, part of the money that they're supposed to pay in advance, 5 years. Why it took NBC so late to do so? Well, maybe we will ask NBC, but it could be because of a number of factors. Appeal, we are going to pay, and this and that. And again, if you look at the economic situation of Nigeria in the last 7, 8, let me put it at 8 years, you see that things have not actually been very rosy for the country. And to compound the problem, media organizations in Nigeria are running at loss. If you look at what happened during COVID-19, year 2020, most especially 2020, 2021, stations were running. It was only the media sector that was not shut down. Other sectors of the economy, they were all shut down, including aviation, including hospitality, that is hotels, including manufacturing sector. Every sector was shut down. So the only sector that did not, close shop was the media sector, and it was running at a loss because there wasn't anything to advertise. Advertisers did not, they didn't advertise anything because all factories, companies, they were all shut down. So, and because media organization wants to fulfill the obligation of getting information across to the nooks and crannies of the country, most especially, that the larger percentage of the populace depend on conventional media, most especially electronic media, because it is electronic media that can actually get down to the grassroots. So they were just doing it, and it helped. It was the media that helped in mitigating the wreckage the COVID-19 will have put on Nigeria, because they were able to disseminate information, but at the expense of the media organization. So it wasn't very rosy for them to get money to pay, and up to now it's still affecting. One will say that, well, the question somebody will ask that when the economy was good, why didn't the media? But you see that many paid. We are talking of payment in advance now, not what they are actually owing. So I think that is the way I want to situate it.
Everybody's looking up to Bond. So what is Bond doing?
Oh, of course, Bond is looking up to God. And God is actually helping us. We are discussing with NBC, we are discussing with the Ministry of Information, and we are equally discussing with our members. So, and things are working well. As of today, you see the problem, and I think I need to make this very clear. Bond has already submitted a template to NBC on how to recover the debt. If NBC had actually followed the template submitted by Bond, all this thing wouldn't lead to that level. We've made a proposal which we believe that if it is tested, if it is used, I want to believe that. I'm not saying we are going to achieve 100% success, but we are very sure that at least minimal of 70% success will have been recorded.
What is the proposal?
Okay, for example, you see, let's use government-owned media organizations, state-owned, for example. You see, the people that have the ears of the governor as a commissioner for information at the state level, and we have made a proposal that, okay, at the zonal level, let's invite the commissioner for informations, in charge of information in each of the states, together with their media chief executive officers, to a parley with NBC and Bond, where all this debt, many general managers are new. Maybe they inherited the debt, you understand? So they are new on that seat, and saying that we are owing 5 million, 10 million, maybe something that, why did you ask? But he's the one that has inherited it. So, but if we discuss it with the commissioner in charge of information, with the presence of the media executive officers of that state, then the commissioner will know the enormity of the problem at hand, and will be able to communicate directly to his principal, Mr. Governor, who will be able to say, okay, so this is this. But a state can write, a state-owned station can write, the letter can be on the table of the commissioner for years, for months, and it will not be attended to. And the governor will not know anything about it. Gone are those days when the general managers have direct access to the governors. But today you now know that because of politics, politician wants to stand between the professionals that know what they're supposed to do. So that is a big problem. And that was why we said, okay, in order to cross this ladder, let's have that parley and let's bring it to the front burner and discuss it with the commissioner of information at of every state at the zonal level. For example, in Southwest, we only meet with about 6 commissioners of information and with their media executives. So they would know it. They will have known the position of law. They will have known the years people have been owing and this, and they get it done with the government.
As at this morning, how many state television stations, private television stations, radio, and
many have responded positively. For example, as of today, I can tell you that Sokoto has made some payments. Bayelsa has made some payment and full payment. Yobe has paid for both the radio and just to mention a few, and the private sector too. They are equally, responding positively. It's very hard. The only, and I think this should be known to everybody, the only sector that is serving as the whipping boy, as it were, in Nigeria today is the media sector. You see, they look at the cost of running the stations now. For any media organization that wants to run a 24 hours transmission, as of today, will be spending an average of ₦1 million per day on diesel, because the cost of diesel per liter is floating between 900 and 1,000 naira, and then you are using a 500 kVA generator, so you can determine the consumption level, and you want them to operate for 24 hours. So where would they get that money? And of course, everything about electronic media is about importation. There is nothing in Nigeria that we manufacture. Everything, talk of both the studio equipment, both the transmitting equipment, every equipment is imported into Nigeria. So, and it's at the exchange rate. You talk of tapes, you talk of everything, including microphones. So that is there too. And you can now determine the dollar, the exchange rate of naira. So you see that the burden is there. And whereas other sectors were able to increase their own rate without consultation, the advertisers will say media organizations should inform them at least 3 months before they will. So when soft drinks manufacturers were increasing their own rate, Did they consult the media before they do it? So you can see the problem. So, and the other sectors have even, many of them are closing shops, but the media is just struggling just to fulfill that constitutional responsibility of information without diluting it with fake news, and you can only get that one through the conventional media.
Well, the suspension of the revocation of licenses is moved to Wednesday. So what?
We are working. As I'm speaking with you, efforts have been made, and we are very sure it's going to boomerang. Let me tell you, closing down 54 stations at a time in Nigeria in this particular time of insecurity, the only veritable source of information that people rely on is the broadcast media. So if you shut down stations in Yobe, stations in Sokoto, in Kaduna, in Katsina, you can see that they will take the advantage of that, and the insecurity will just come back in a big bang. So that one is there, that government is not looking at, but we are calling the attention of government to that, so that the media will not be held responsible. And I want to believe that certainly before Wednesday we will have resolved, because I think this is not. There's a modern way of debt recovery. It's not about closing down. If you close down a station, the advertisement that that station is supposed to transmit at a particular time, that's supposed to get money, and use that money to pay, he will not be able to transmit. And if he's unable to transmit, the advertiser will not pay.
Maybe that was they suspended that.
So you can see that it's going to be more, it's going to destroy more, because they will even, I know that many stations may want to run to bank to go and take overdraft or loan to pay. It's going, at the end of the day, it will kill the industry. And again, another area that we are calling attention of MBC to is that the number of licenses they issue, they just need to take some precaution. So the broadcast media is oversaturated as of today. The number of license, radio license, so it's no longer profitable. It's no longer profitable. Take Ogun State, for Abeokuta alone, for example. I'm very sure that we have more than 12, 14 radio stations in Abeokuta alone. I'm not talking of Ogun State. I'm talking of Abeokuta alone. So where is the market? Everybody depends on Lagos. So in Ibadan, everybody, so, and the advertising revenue is dwindling every day. You can look at the percentage. Unfortunately now, because of the power, a lot of things, are contributing negatively to the electronic media. The power, the rate of the public power supply, very, very poor. So the people they claim that, well, even if we advertise on television, we don't have light to watch it. So that is there. They don't have money to buy diesel. They don't have money to buy petrol. So today, the social media is taking large chunk of the adverts, which means that the electronic media is the one suffering for it. So all these things put together is making things to not to be palatable for the electronic media. But because it's an obligation, it's a passion, and because the people working there, they have taken it upon themselves to see that Nigeria survives, because without the electronic media, it's difficult for that security to hold, it's difficult for that unity to hold, because that is the primary essence of this information, direct information to everyone. So I want to believe that by Wednesday we will have resolved everything.
Thank you so much.